in today's lecture, we will start with the mobile sensing. We have also seen the sensing techniques and the things which are being done for the sensing. So now we will look into what exactly a mobile sensing is. Mobile sensing is a relatively new field aimed at collecting data from the sensors included in the mobile devices. The sensors, as we have seen, that they capture the signals from different perspective, that may be in the form of electromagnetic waves or radiations. The signals are basically the received uh, rays or waves from these sensors, and with the help of those signals we will try to sense the signals and process it. So mobile sensing is basically the sensing of the signals which are captured from the sensors. For example, as you can see here, there are various sensors such as the earable sensor which captures the noise around. There is a touch sensor on the phone which captures the touch sensor, or the if we are touching an object, that field. Another is the GPS, which tracks the location and speed of the object or the device. Such sensors or sensing, mobile sensing, has been utilized majorly in the field of augmented reality and virtual reality. There are various applications of mobile sensing. That is, in case of health monitoring, there are various health monitoring systems or sensors developed in which they tried to do a therapy based on the sensing of signals or capturing the heart rate of the person, and thereby detect the disease and make the disease curable. Another application is in terms of human phone interaction, while in case of autonomous driving, various such sensors or sensing is required to prevent road accidents or any fatalities. Mobile sensing is also very helpful in the field of social networking to assess which people are related to each other and what is the friendship between the people and how they are related to each other, what are the common factors. As mentioned, with the human phone interaction, those applications are also useful for road and transportation, for human fall, advisory, based on the personal experience of the people by sensing their speech analysis, and also the environmental pollution by analyzing the nearby traffic condition, the environmental conditions. So now typically mobile sensing is broadly classified into two parts. One is the environmental centric, and another one is the people centric. Environmental centric sensing is the sensing in which the various parts of environment such as the climate, weather, road condition, etc., temperature are being analyzed or sensed, and based on those sensing data, further analysis or computations are done. In the similar fashion, they have the people-centric data that captures the individual's performance or individual's characteristics of the human being. For example, what the human being is doing, what activity is he performing, like he is walking or running. Based on that, the sensors can capture the heart rate of the human to detect whether that walking or running activity is injurious or it is harmful to his health. So such kinds of sensing is known as people-centric sensing, which analyze the people data, user data. So broadly, both of these sensing techniques are further classified as a participatory sensing and an opportunistic sensing. The participatory sensing, as the word says, the user itself participates for sensing or collection of the data. In this case, the user, single user or a multiple user participates themselves from a region or a set of regions to provide data for further utilization and analyzing the facts or concepts in that particular area. For example, in case of the medical field, we can analyze the users who are suffering from a certain problem, and based on the features captured from all the users, we can provide the solution to that problem. What is the treatment, or what are the symptoms to that problem? As in the recent day, we have the COVID pandemic spreading. So in that case, also participatory analysis or participatory sensing is a major utilization, in which people themselves will help in sensing the data, whether they have done the vaccinations or what kind of symptoms they are facing, or in which location they are present. So another possible type of sensing is an opportunistic sensing. In case of opportunistic sensing, this type of sensing mainly in this, people are not relied to capture the data, but in this type of sensing, the mobile applications themselves look into the application, and by the usage of that application, it learns what kind of annotations or what kind of sensing data is required, and it annotates the data itself. It generates the data itself. No external means of sensing is required in such type of sensing. Further, all the sensing techniques are categorized as personal, social, and public sensing. This is the sensing scale of all the sensing techniques. First is the personal sensing, in which the individual human being or an individual user collects the data and provides that data for his personal analysis. For example, in the case of UBFit or HealthFair, for mapping the complete daytime activity of an individual and its health, and also to measure the obesity of the person, how is he doing, or what is the health condition of that individual person. That will not benefit to a group of people, but that will benefit to an individual being. Another sensing scale is a group sensing. In this sensing, the data is collected over the individuals which are having a common goal or some common concerns and interest. And further, they share sensing experiences with others freely, or without any privacy protection. With privacy protection, their privacy cannot be breached. So they can share their data with other human beings also for the growth or for the estimation. Such kinds of sensing have an example of SenseMe, in which a group of individual human beings of the similar interest participate for the sensing and thus share their data for the final estimated goal. Third sensing scale is the community sensing. In this sensing, they take into account a large number of participants or a society, and represents a large scale of data collection, analysis, and dissemination for the betterment of the community and to solve a purpose for the community. The examples of such community sensing include create noise population map of a city using larometer or noise tube, estimate the traffic condition of the city, estimating the road condition of the city, estimating the weather or the climatic condition of the surrounding based on the community sensing, or the disease spread in a particular community. Such kinds of sensing is helpful with community sensing scale. Next, we will look into the application architecture. The application architecture is broadly classified into two categories. One is the distributed sensing and another one is the integrated sensing. How these applications sense the data. So in case of distributed sensing, first we will talk about it. The mobile phone inertial sensors exclusively or in combination of external sensors are employed for capturing the data. That means not only the internal sensors of the mobile phone, but also some external sensors are also deployed in the system for sensing the environment or sensing the people personal centric data for data capturing. All of the data which is captured is communicated to the mobile phone using the wireless technology such as Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, etc. All of an application's functional module, example processing, inferencing, storage, and user interface, etc., are executed on the mobile phone with requiring an external web-based supplement in which the further processing parts or modules are being transferred after the processing. This is preferred due to the technological constraints of the mobile, example, limited power, processing power, operating system, memory, and storage, etc. But this type of architecture suffers from a lot of problems, which could ultimately degrade the performance of the application, such as the transmission delay while transferring the information from one mobile to a remote server. For data uploading, while if the data is a very huge amount of data, so data transmission is also consuming a lot of bandwidth and power. While communicating the data, the privacy can also be breached as the data can be falsified and can be captured. So such kind of problems could be affected in the distributed sensing. To solve such things, we move towards the integrated sensing technique in which the mobile phone external sensor and the internal sensors are incorporated in combination to capture the data. And similarly, here also the data is being transferred using the Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi and other modules. All of the applications and functional modules here are executed only on the mobile phone without using any external web-based supplement. However, mobile phone technologically are still limited to the process and storage capacity as the excessive amount of data generated by the sensors and execute complex inferencing and classification algorithm to derive the conclusion is difficult in case of the mobile in case of the integrated sensing over the mobile phones. Now, at last, we will discuss about the sensing architecture. In this, we will discuss the main modules that we have broadly talked about earlier. First one is the information domain. In information domain, the main motive is to collect the data either from the user or from the environment, such as the temperature, location, activity of the user, light data, other local services, other information, etc. After sensing the data from the information domain, that data is further passed to the sensing module for sensing. The sensing module then sends that data from utilizing the internal sensors of the mobile phone, such as accelerometer, proximity, GPS, and the external sensors, such as the digital sensor management or EEG capturing devices, etc., to capture some external information as well. Based on this sensing module, the sense data is further transmitted to the mobile phone module. This mobile phone module, as you can see here in the colored in the purple, this mobile phone module tries to do various application interfaces such as processing, inference, storage, and presentation of the data, which is being utilized by the sensors. And also this mobile phones have the operating system to perform the mobile computation itself in the local network. But if some of the data which is not able to be processed in the mobile phone due to the technological constraint, such data is further traversed to the remote web-based server module. That server module is a module shown in a color blue here, as you can see with the cursor. This module performs the remaining applications of processing, presentation, and inference utilizing that data, and it incorporates a large set of hardware and software to perform higher computations. After the data is being processed and computed, the final module is the visualization module, which shows the final interpretation to the end user or the participants of the data collection. So whole of this process is then communicated or reflected over the mobile phone as a visualization. In this way, the sensing architecture plays a major role and is being deployed in case of sensing the data. Thank you.